I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Today is National Cereal Day. It's World Book Day. What is that? And it's Sock Monkey Day.
You don't know what a book is?
What is a book?
I used to make those jokes. I think people need to start reading books again. I do. I think humans need to read.
We are not sitting down and reading a book, y'all.
It's good to read. Learning should be a sexy thing.
We're scrolling, not reading.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a good thing. And, with books anymore, I mean, you can just go with those Kindles. My daughter got one. She loves it. So it's the little pad. You don't need a book anymore. You can go ahead and read off of that. Or you can do what Virginia was talking about and get that Audible.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about getting that because I love the idea of an autobiography read to me by the author of somebody that I'm digging on.
So I said yesterday that Paul Stanley did he read his book, audio, so douchey. It was amazing. I loved/hated it because it was so amazing. But I misspoke. That's not the douchiest auto book I've ever heard. Holy fuck, Corey Feldman's book is next level. Dick face, the opening paragraph, he trashes Corey Haim after his death.
What?
But tries to hide under the umbrella of he's being his boy and fuck Corey Feldman.
He trashed him in the opening?
He did, man. He absolutely did. If Kevin Ralston was to pass away and I did an audiobook and that was my opening paragraph, kick my ass.
Damn.
You don't do your boy like that.
You don't.
After you die.
The guy's dead. I mean, can we just have a little class?
Sorry, Kevin. It's fuck Feldman.
I hear you. No. Got this email with an endorsement for Audible, and they said, I heard you talking about it yesterday, and I got to say, it's totally worth it. I'm itinerant teacher, so I spend a lot of time in my car. And Audible has so many great listens, including Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights, which only Matthew McConaughey can read Matthew McConaughey. And if you get a book that you don't like, you can return it.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey reading to you Matthew McConaughey's story?
Yeah.
I am here for that sexiness.
It's going to take a minute to get through.
It's going to take a minute, but boy, what a fun journey.
And someone tells me he ad-libs a little bit as he's reading. He throws in his own little fucking perspectives on some of the words.
And that, to me, is the most exciting part.
I mean, he's ad-libbing his own book. So
Barbara Streisand does that in hers. She goes off on tangents, is what I've heard. And I'm so excited for that.
I thought it was just a feature where you could have Matthew McConaughey read any book.
Well, there are actors that do narrate. In fact, she said you can search by title, author, or favorite actor to see if they narrated any books. So he might have done more than just his own, but at least you got Matthew McConaughey reading Matthew McConaughey.
I know you would never listen to it, but there's certain parts I'd love for you to hear the Paul Stanley book. It's so next level.
Yeah, if
Send
I could
him
hear
the cliff
excerpts,
notes. Send him the clips.
I need to send you a clip or two,
Edited.
Yeah. I spent all my KISS investigative time when I was in high school, so I think those days are past.
It's a weird thing. There's a few bands that I really can't stand their music, but I'm obsessed about the story and the shit that went on behind the scenes. KISS was, I mean, they fucking
It's
hate
comical.
each other.
That's why they did the whole Spinal Tap thing, because in that era, those bands were so ridiculous, so much drama. It was goofy. It was to the point where it's like, gosh, man.
It is not easy to keep a band together.
No.
You've got a lot of people, a lot of egos, different ideas, and everyone's got to sing the same song. And it's tough.
A lot of them have ended terribly. Like your Pink Floyds.
They won't get back together because they hate this. They will
So
not
much.
get money and have all of the fames and riches of the world because they can't stand it. That's how much they hate the person.
That just tells me you have too much money. Because at some point, you put everything aside when you're going broke.
Well,
I don't know.
They're not broke yet.
Yeah, I don't think so either, because, an example is I'll go to football, different thing. Ohio State got a coach that was a head coach at a big program, and he came back, and they're asking, why did you leave where you were the head coach to be the offensive coordinator? You're not the man. And he used a John Lennon story, and he said when he was a little kid, John Lennon's teacher asked and said, what do you want to be when you grow up? He said, I want to be happy. And that was all he said. I just want to be happy. And that didn't mean that he didn't have any aspirations or they wouldn't grow up to greatness, but he recognized even at an early age that happiness was the best thing to grow up to be. And that's what this coach said. He said, I wasn't happy doing that. I may have made more money and I may have had more esteem, but it didn't mean I was happy. I'm happy right now doing what I'm doing.
There's two different personalities out there. I think there are people that will absolutely go, I got to get the money because they need a gig. But there's some people, they really, if it's not in their heart and their spirit and they're not comfortable and they can't be their genuine self, they will pass on an opportunity that is a lot of money.
I just think they're not broke enough yet. There's a certain point where you get to, and if you're that broke, you will swallow your pride.
I don't know. Many have not.
I don't think your football analogy would hold up for that because he does have another gig. It's just a less paying gig, but he has a gig. He has money coming in. If you're broke and you have no opportunities, that's when you go, oh, I need to get my shit together and bury the hatchet.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I do disagree with you on that. I think there are some people, you gotta understand, people that get in bands a lot of times, they're creative spirits, and if they're not getting heard and they're fighting all the time, creativity drives a lot of people's happiness. So if that gets taken away from you,
some people say, look, that's not living. Look, I can find a lot of other things just to get by, and I'm going to do that because I can do it with a smile on my face and love in my heart. But if I go back to that toxic environment, it ain't worth anything. I think there's some people that would say that.
It's a big reason why Billy Joel said he got out of the music industry as far as writing songs. He said he couldn't take it anymore.
He'll never be broke.
No, and that's a bad example.
If you're talking about somebody like Billy Joel, he'll never be able to understand the concept of broke.
Yeah, yes. If the drummer for a band was down and out and he was on the street and
he'd
homeless,
be like,
and he hated the lead singer, there's a chance they could get together. But I also think
he'll suck it up rather than suck some D on the street.
You can make a buck that way too. I mean, it's just look.
Yeah.
When you're down on your luck and it's the end and you're broke, I think you put the feud aside. But what do I know? I've never been in a band.
Mm-hmm. You have been.
I lost headphone karaoke.
You've been in plenty of feuds though.
It is also, as I had mentioned, National Cereal Day. We talked a little bit and realized that Cheerios top-selling cereal in America, one of the top searched for cereals. Just what our love is with Cheerios, I don't know. You would at least be happy, Jay Bird, that Grape Nuts did not make the top 10 on either list.
Because Grape Nuts is shit. I'm sorry. All y'all email me about Grape Nuts. You lose the fight when you put sugar, or if you do, that's not the Grape Nuts being good. That's the sugar helping it being good.
Yeah, right.
No one likes
it's the
Grape
fruit,
Nuts.
it's the banana, it's the, yeah.
Nobody likes that.
It's the only absolute statement.
It's disgusting.
Sarah said, I know how much you guys love Grape Nuts, so I went to get my kids ice cream, and I came across Grape Nuts ice cream. There's a local place that makes it, and you guys could get it and try it for a do-it-bitch punishment. You can see it right there. Grape Nuts cereal.
What?
So
in ice cream.
That might be, I might like that because I like a crunchy texture.
Yeah.
And if it's not, I mean, my whole thing about Grape Nuts is that there's not much to it.
Right. Solo Grape Nuts, there was a time I was, for the benefits of the healthiness of the grape nut, I was eating that with some blueberries and bananas and enjoying it, but it wasn't that I would want to eat the grape nuts by themselves.
Ever since I had
it is crunchy
tortilla strips in a burrito with a nice crunch,
the fried tortilla strips,
and even croutons, that crunch,
yeah.
I love that.
It is.
It satisfies.
It's a nice pizzazz.
Yeah, it's like a sneeze. It's building up, and you go, achoo! Oh yes, that felt good.
Textures. I'm all about textures, and I love when that crispy fried strip is also freshly wet with cheese, where it still has its crisp, but then you have the cheese all around the crisp.
If you are ever looking to make your salad very unhealthy, I am your guy. You should see what I
You can do it.
I eat salads all the time, but holy fuck.
You got it.
It's a lot. Dranch with dressing.
Yeah.
A lot of croutons.
Angie wanted to know if you've heard about KFC's limited time Cheetza. Would you try it and do a review? Curious minds want to know.
I wouldn't because of my loyalty to Bud's Chicken and Seafood.
Right, exactly, yeah.
But,
for that. And you don't
I
really
hear ya.
eat the meat too often, right?
I do have a big vegetarian type diet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I will eat meat at certain times,
but
but
it's not a staple
it's not my favorite.
for what you do.
You get your calories in through the carbs. You're a man of carb love.
I eat a lot of black beans. I love black beans. I love
They're really
them.
good for you. That's
I love
great.
black beans.
That's a good thing to eat.
I
Yeah,
eat a lot of
those are
them.
very solid. It's a very good choice, Jay Bird. Very good choice. Got an email here from one of our KVJ Nationers, Steven, and he said, does the KVJ show know that the Miami Dolphins defensive tackle star Christian Wilkins is now set to be a free agent?
We talked about this, and we're very sad, and we just are mad at the Dolphins. What are they doing?
The Dolphins are gonna make you cry.
Yeah, that's right.
Damn, Hootie had it right.
You know that. Yeah, very well aware of it. I'm keeping a very solid eye on it. We'll see what happens. The latest that I had seen, and not that he would directly know, but there's a sports agent named Drew Rosenhaus. If you know Miami and you know the Dolphins, this guy represents about everybody. He's Tyreek Hill's agent.
Okay.
He's one of them super agent Jerry Maguire types.
And if you ever hang around the Dolphins, you know, when I've gone down there, some of the practices and whatever, he's always there. Drew Rosenhaus is just always in that environment. And he doesn't represent Christian Wilkins, but they did ask him and say, okay, hey, you know, and you represent several Miami Dolphins players and know management very well. What do you think? And Drew Rosenhaus said, Christian Wilkins is one of the best overall players in free agency. He said, I'm quite certain, even though the Dolphins didn't franchise him, that they'll be really aggressive to bring him back. I'm sure they'll be very competitive with other teams. I wouldn't count the Dolphins out, but certainly now they've got a ton of competition as compared to the franchise tag. The franchise tag, if they would have done that and that time has passed, would have cost them $22 million a year. So they'd have to pay a little bit more.
Look, we don't want to lose
now.
him, but we also want him to get the best deal possible.
No doubt.
True, but I did want him to get the franchise tag because then that would mean two great things for us. He stays and he gets paid. Did they give the franchise tag to anybody?
I didn't see who they franchise tagged. I didn't see them do that at all to anybody. So not
Okay,
that
so
I'm
if they
aware of.
didn't give it to anybody, I'm okay with that. I don't have beef with the Dolphins. But if they gave it to somebody else, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes players don't want the franchise tag because, you know, look, he could get signed to a long-term deal. He's projected to sign a 4-year deal for $92 million, including $48 million of that guaranteed.
Okay, so dinner is on him next time we hang out.
Yeah. So, you know, if they did get competitive and try to sign him, that could happen. Now, I saw that ESPN had Christian Wilkins ranked as the third best available free agent in the NFL.
Wow, out of everybody?
Out of everybody. Number one, though, was a defensive tackle from the Kansas City Chiefs. So he would be the number 2 available, but number 3 overall player.
Overrated Chiefs.
Yeah. So they'll have a lot of stuff that they want to hit.
You
him
hate
up
the
for.
Chiefs today?
I do hate the Chiefs.
Today, you were all. Do you love Taylor
I
Swift
hate
today?
everybody that might steal Christian Wilkins, and I also would like to fight them. If anybody takes him, we hate them, Kevin.
Kevin, she's in a mood.
She's in a mood, huh?
I just want him to stay here because he's our friend, and I'll be so sad if he leaves because we don't have any like big NFL friends like him. Like he's top of the mountain. It's so cool that he's our friend.
We tend to scare celebrities off.
He's not scared of us. He knows I'm crazy and he's still not scared.
Has he texted you back from that one text?
He did.
Okay,
He absolutely has texted me back, and we're trying to put a plan together, but I think he's got to get this deal with the Dolphins figured out first.
a little distracted, yeah.
I would imagine. Well, he's fantastic, brings a great energy, is awesome for the locker room. A lot of exponentials outside of just what he does on the fild that you can't put a price on.
It's
so
a vibe.
Hopefully they get it done.
It's an energy. You want that for the Dolphins.
Yeah, but I'm definitely watching it. Got this question here. Now that football season is over, can we do a weekly segment for shows to binge watch? I'd love some recommendations. Without football, I'm lost. I need help. Yeah, I get it. That would be beneficial to me, too. I am going through the TV show Suits on Netflix. I'm loving it. It's like 7 or 8 seasons. Somebody let me know that I think they did that weird thing where season 7 ends on Netflix and you got to watch Amazon Prime to see season 8, which is kind of weird.
And then, but season 9 will be on. I hate when they do that.
I do too, but I'm thankful that people, because you really do need a buddy system to let you know what exactly is going on with all these different shows, because they are all over the place. And there's some shows that are going to be coming out, different seasons, all that kind of stuff. It's really hard to stay up on it. I'm putting forth an effort, so I can only imagine people are just out there. If it just doesn't fly in front of your face, you're probably going to miss it. So I'm all about that. Yeah, because I am in binge watching season now that football's over. And gosh, it's so depressing because I always have sports channels on. I mean, they realize the only thing that gets ratings is talking about NFL stuff. But I'm like, and trust me, I've tried to do the sports show in the office. It's torture. Like, okay, they are talking about the same thing over and over and over and over again, and they've got 8 more months.
Oh gosh,
it's just brutal,
man.
That
is brutal.
I'm like, I can't do it. I love the NFL and football. I can't do it.
Sports talk's pretty fucking rough. A lot of times it's
tough,
Two
man.
dick faces arguing about a sport they never played.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's rough.
And it's stupid. I'm sorry.
I will tell you a show I'm looking forward to. It's about 2 weeks away. That's that Palm Royale. It is the
the one that looks like
show,
Palm Beach.
About Palm Beach. It's got a great cast in it, including Ricky Martin. A really good cast. Looks really well done. It's on Apple TV.
Oh my God, Ricky Martin looks so hot.
Yeah, that's something to check out. Luckily now they do kind of balance it. Where summertime, it's when they release a lot of new TV to watch, thankfully. Hack Season 3 on Max. I've heard great things about that. That's about a comedian. That drops on May 2nd. House of Dragon Season 2 on HBO drops in June.
That was kind of like dating somebody when I got into Thrones. I got late to the game and I binge watched it, and I was exhausted after I was done with
I
that
won't
series.
watch it until it's done and I know they didn't fuck up the ending again.
Well, I caught up. That was what was kind of cool. I probably caught on season 4 in real time, so I binge watch all season 1 through 3. And by the end of it, I just felt like I really got into Thrones. I don't know if you remember. I was lover
were big time.
of that. I would get excited for a Game of Thrones episode.
I remember.
That was big doings. And that last season really did suck for me. And I wanted it to be good. Mm-hmm. And I know everyone says that.
Yeah, no doubt. I hear you. I was right there with you. I'd seen this a little bit today. I haven't seen anything about it this morning before the show, but people were talking about Jake Paul's going to fight Mike Tyson.
What? Is this real?
I hate fake boxing.
I don't know. July on Netflix, somebody said.
Fake boxing.
I just don't love Jake Paul. I love Tyson.
Yeah, I don't, where it is with some of this boxing stuff is, it doesn't do it for me. I know they do it, and I saw he beat up on some fat guy in a skirt, or he was wearing a skirt and there's some fat guy in the ring with him. I'm like, this guy doesn't even look like any kind of athlete. When Mike Tyson used to box, that was the last time I was really into it. Iron Mike, and he was chiseled, and he would go in there against really good competitors and just destroy them in 20 seconds. It was unreal.
I will go back and watch montages of Tyson's greatest hits, and holy fuck, by about like the 13th time of him fighting,
brutal.
You could start to see legit fear and the person he was fighting in their eyes. Because they didn't really
He's
know.
a maniac.
They didn't know what was going on, and then all of a sudden he just was knocking son of a bitches out left and right.
And if he couldn't beat you that way, he'd eat your ear.
By the time he was 20-0, you would see it. You see, and in the corner over here is blah blah blah. And you're like, oh shit, I don't want to fight. Fuck, I don't want to fight.
Yeah, no,
you could see true fear.
He still looks great in the ring. He still trains, and he looks like he could still kick someone's
and
ass.
he is funny AF.
He is. He's an entertaining guy.
He is the double threat or triple threat. I don't know if he can sing, but he is funny.
Yeah.
He cannot sing.
He can act. Mm-hmm. Wasn't he in The Hangover?
He was in
Playing
the
Mike
Hangover.
Tyson.
I think he was playing himself.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's your thing. That might be something coming up.
Did you guys ever play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
Yeah, played that all the time. Remember that stand-up video game?
They don't have Tyson in the game anymore. They took him out after the rape trial and he went to jail or prison.
Oh, really? So it's just Punch-Out?
It's just Punch-Out. Denny's, am I right about that? I think they did take Tyson out.
Wow.
And I don't think you can fight him unless you have the old school game.
Yeah. I mean, that was problematic. I mean, the guy was convicted of rape and spent time in prison. And that was, when it's kind of like the same thing. Tiger Woods had his moment, and he didn't come back the same way. Mike Tyson, same deal, didn't come back the same way.
Yeah, Nintendo kicked him out of the game. They took all the ones that were out and then put it back out with a different character as the final guy. He looked the same. They just changed his name.
So if you get Punch-Out now, you have to buy an old school one to get the Tyson
So
version.
yeah, there's two different versions out. You'd have to find the newer or the older one if you want Tyson in there. If you go on the internet, they have the old version on there too. You can find.
To me, it's one of the greatest games ever made.
It's got great music. Each boss is, each fighter is a different tactic on beating it.
I kind of thought it was ahead of its time.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, he's in town a ton. He's always in Palm Beach, so see him around from time to time. So be interesting to see if he does do that fight. I think you know what? Honestly, if he beat the living shit out of Jake Paul, I would watch that.
I would be so happy.
It'd be pretty
not-
entertaining.
I don't want to watch Jake Paul. I just want to watch Jake Paul get pummeled.
Well, that's what's annoying about these things. That's what everyone wants to see, but it's going to be, it's an exhibition, and there's no losers. And
If he legitimately really beat the shit out of him,
That would be more fun.
and I heard about it, I would go back and watch it.
well, yeah, of course, yes.
I would want to see that.
But they're not going to do that.
No.
They're not going to make Jake. But Jake Paul, Jake Paul is such a big star right now. He's not going to. He's in that whole fighting world. He doesn't want to look bad either. So they're gonna work it out like wrestling.
They're gonna script
how they
it.
both look pretty good. Oh, Tyson still looks great for his
His
age.
brother does wrestling now, right? Logan Paul, and he in WWE, I think.
Logan Paul's the more annoying one. Logan's more annoying than
I don't think I know the difference.
you would. Yeah, but I hear you. I get it. Don't do the research.
I won't.
Do not do the research.
You can bet your bottom dollar.
Logan was in wrestling.
I love Michigan Mike's line: "If he dies, he dies." How big a story would that be if Mike Tyson literally killed Jake Paul in the ring?
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's not fake at that point.
Well, did that bitch sign a waiver?
Oh my gosh!
If one of them kills the other
Wow.
one, is there a ramification?
Look, I could be completely wrong, and they could slug it out, but I don't see that. I think you're going to get an exhibition fight that's going to end with them hugging, and it's going to be a payday.
Yeah.
Hype, payday, and not much of a payoff. That's my prediction.
Right. Wow. Okay. Gosh, what did I hear? There was a story, and I can't remember. It was an old school boxer, maybe like a Rocky Marciano, had a dream and a premonition. He was getting ready to fight this guy. And he had a premonition, a dream, I think, that he killed him, and he wasn't going to fight him. And the guy's like, dude, it'll be okay. He's like, don't sweat it. The guy pushed him to fight because the guy needed to buy his mom a house.
Oh my gosh. Did he kill him?
Rocky Marciano, he killed him in the ring. And so what he did, he paid for his mom's house and paid for her for the rest of her life.
Oh, you just gave me goose pimples.
That's a real story?
Yeah, and I might have the wrong boxer. But
Oh
yeah,
my
that popped up and it did an
gosh.
improv. I'm like, what a freaking story.
He had a premonition and then he really
I think
did
it was a dream. It was a premonition or a dream. I think it was a
It's
dream.
the same thing. It's the same thing.
He woke up and he's like, oh my gosh, I can't fight this guy. And he wasn't going to fight him. The guy's like, please, don't worry. It's going to be fine. Because he was desperate to get the money for his mom.
Oh my gosh.
My mom has a story like that where she was at some fair out there in Rhode Island. I told you this story before, and she had a premonition of it breaking and it crashing, and it did, and she didn't go on the ride. and it crashed. And she had this vision. According to her, I wasn't there.
No,
I believe in that.
Stuff, yeah.
And I think it's your dead relatives sending you messages from above like, hey, watch out. Don't fuck around and find out.
Well, just for the non-believers, just for a second, what if we really haven't learned collectively to tap into those kind of things?
Oh, no doubt.
Like electricity. I know I always say that, but I think that
Right, they
humans-
didn't know electricity existed until they were able to harness it.
it was there.
Yeah, right.
What other things are there that we don't know about that we haven't tapped into yet? If
Yeah.
that's possible, why isn't something else possible?
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, it might be crazy. What if they make it another 1,000 years? Well, what would society look like? What would we be doing then?
That's a great question, and some people believe that this is the 7th or 8th time we've had advanced society or civilization. It just keeps
It blows itself up.
Keeps on blowing itself
and then
up.
starts over again.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I mean, who knows?
Why are we here?
Oh fuck! I've been asking that question since I was about 3. No, 4. When I learned about where dead bodies go and what happens to you as a skeleton. The music teacher was teaching us about skeletons, and I'm like, Mom, what's a skeleton? So what's a skeleton? She started going into a little bit. I was in therapy about a year later.
Noel said, as of Wednesday's show, speaking of Netflix, I wanted to point this out to you as well if you want a little binge watching. There is a Netflix show of Virginia's son's namesake, Rocco Siffredi.
Oh, no. That's
called-
the porn Rocco.
It's called Super Sex, and it says, inspired by true events, this is the story of how Rocco Siffredi escaped a humble life and emerged as the world's greatest porn star. And there's
Look at his O face.
Oh, yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah, so if you're looking for one there, how Rocco got his name.
I mean, the direction was just make the cummiest face you could possibly do.
Yeah. Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Cummiest.
Give me cummy, go.
Go. I think he nailed it.
He did, yeah. If you had to say, yes.
I mean, that looks just like pure pleasure. Oh, my dick. Oh.
Yeah.
My dick.
Yeah. All right, there's something else that you could watch.
It sounds like it's a movie, not a documentary.
Maybe, yeah.
I bet you a documentary.
But is it a documentary movie?
If they did a real documentary, that would probably be more interesting.
I agree.
Had that story yesterday in the Whacked Out News. The guy staying at a resort in Vegas, and in the middle of the night, he is woken by a horrible pain right in his privates. And it doesn't say dick or balls. I don't know exactly what it was.
Because my mind goes, oh my gosh, his Aretha Franklin got damaged.
It could have been both, because it turned out to be a scorpion, and he said 3 to 4 different stings. He got to the bathroom and he saw the scorpion, and trashily emailed us, said, when I was a teenager, we were in a tiny town called Homosassa. It's an hour north of Tampa, 30 miles south of Ocala. We're on 2.5 acres, country town. We had a pool. My mom told us, all right, hey, leave your bathing suits on the porch on the rail outside till the next swim. So my brother and I grabbed our suits to go swimming, maybe about 12 years old. He comes out of his room. He's screaming at the top of his lungs, and he falls down in the fetal position crying. My mother screamed, what's going on? What's going on? It took him to the bedroom, shut the door. There was a small scorpion in his bathing suit, and when he put on the scorpion, hit him right in the nards.
Oh, my gosh.
Poor
a child?
Yeah, a 12-year-old, like a 12-year-old,
Oh,
yeah.
that breaks
Took
my
a
heart.
Sting right in the ball sack.
If you get
Poor
sting-
fucker.
If you get stung in the dick, does it make it bigger?
I think
I'd
it
imagine,
would.
yeah, for him,
It'll swell it up.
Yeah. He said,
You're not in the mood to fuck.
That's, I mean, you're like, oh, it's so big, but damn it, I do not want to have sex at all.
No.
He said one time a scorpion got me on the shoulder, and man, it hurt. That bitch hurt.
I think you and your family need to stay away from scorpions.
I think they're trying to, but maybe Homosassa is the scorpion capital of Florida.
I mean, if you're a scorpion, you're trying to go to the Aretha Franklin, right? It's the hole.
I don't
You're trying
know.
to go and burrow.
It just, who knows? It's probably just,
I think if you're a scorpion, you try to go for the innards of a woman, the butthole, or the Aretha Franklin? No?
I don't know, dude. But look, everybody just look in your pants before you put them on.
Man.
Especially if your underwear's like laying around, like a swimsuit on a counter or on the floor.
Oh, I am so primed for scorpions to bite my dick.
You know it's coming, right?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, he's coming, all right.
Something else that hurts. We were talking about stuff we survived as kids, and man, growing up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, it was just a different world, man. The stuff that kids would do and parents would do and never got in trouble for. Liz said, yeah, we used to play a game called Hot Peas and Butter. A group of kids would start off, you'd have a home base, and then one person would go hide a leather belt, and then that person would give clues to everybody else, whether they get hot or cold, hot peas and butter, I guess is what they would say. And then when a person found the belt, all the other kids had to race to the home base, but as they were trying to get there, you were able to lash them with the belt. Oh. So you would start whipping all the other kids before they got to the home base. And she said, yeah, boy, we would go home with welts, scars, bleeding, but man, we had fun. I don't know if that sounds fun to me.
Welts, scars, and bleeding. I'm out.
That sounds awful.
I mean, what the hell kind of game is that?
We good.
Holy crap, find the belt and just whip the shit out of your friends?
Dude, that a belt whooping is next level.
Next level. Yeah, you don't want that, man.
Cat of nine tails. My mom said that's what her family had. A stick with 9 belts on it.
Oh my
and you're getting one of them belts, sometimes 2.
Yeah, that's just crazy, huh?
It's pretty sick.
It's very sick.
Mm-hmm.
But just my mom would say, just the expression cat of nine tails would have them
they would straighten up,
shit in their pants.
Whatever you're doing, you stop doing it when your mom says cat of 9 tails.
Yeah. Usually when you beat your children, it kind of sticks with them.
RJ said Kevin the slow fat kid had a rough. No, you're right. All those kind of all those kind of games, man. Yes, no doubt.
There was a lot of Dicky Games back then.
I was slow and I was a big target.
Even your
a lot of Dicky Games.
Your simpler games that weren't, they were pretty, like Mother May I, if you had a dick as the Mother May I, you were never able to. That was a Dicky game. Simon Says was a Dicky game.
Yeah. The names of our game, we had a terrible game. I mean, I look at it now, I'm like, how terrible is this? We were just small kids in town, didn't know. We had a game and it was called Smear the Queer. Terrible, right?
Oh my God.
Terrible. We didn't even know, but that's what they called it. That was the name of the game. And the game was all about, you would take a football and you would throw it, and whoever picked it up, you basically tackle them, just beat the shit out of them.
Did they know what was going on? Did they?
Yeah, so you didn't want the ball. And so people, I remember, they would take the ball and they'd like put it in my shirt. So I didn't want it, and they would just tackle me, beat the shit out of me, because not only was I fat and slow, but I was the youngest in the neighborhood. So they would just beat the living shit out of me all the time.
Not a very good fighter.
No, couldn't fight at all.
You can't fight 5 guys.
We actually have a very non-tough morning show. None of us can
I remember my
fight.
mom one time came running out of the house. She's like, "You get off of him," and because they were just beating the living shit out of me. It was terrible, right? What a terrible
awful.
era. What a terrible game. What a terrible story. That was the 80s, man.
And then you guys would
do
something a little bit lighter, a little bit more wholesome. You play lawn darts.
It was just, what the hell is wrong with us, man?
I don't know, man. That was
terrible. Yeah, just.
I feel like the way we've changed towards dogs and kids from the 80s.
Yeah,
80s was the last of people being dicky so public.
Stuff we said, stuff we did. We were just I think everyone was 80s assholes.
Oh, the 80s.
Just assholes. Just all the way through and through. Insensitive, terrible people.
There was great stuff during that time as well, but there was a weird thing.
People that are sad for our times, I'd be going, go back to 1984 and play a game of Smear the Queer. You think like we had it right then? No, we did not. It's terrible. I think we have evolved.
I think the kids wouldn't put up with that
They
nowadays. Because sometimes when I would hang out with Magnolia's friends, shocker, I say things that are a little bit edgy. And I would shock Magnolia's friends with my mouth.
I believe it.
And things that I would say. Because I feel like these kids are nicer to each other than we were. And when I come in and I go hard, they were like, whoa.
I wouldn't say nicer. It's just different. Because people, look,
Yeah, maybe it is different because you're right. Yeah,
people are dicks still.
The words we said didn't think anything of it, and now it's different. And now maybe there's words that we're saying in 30 years you'd be going, I cannot believe in the year 2024 we would so liberally throw that word out.
Because it's good to clean up your act and all that, but like everything, the pendulum always swings too far
no, you're right.
to the point where trying to do the good thing now becomes
humans are still
next level the bad thing, but you're doing it in the name of doing it good. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, this I'm not sure, but we had a debate in Make Up or Break Up today as this woman saw her husband taking photos at the pool of teenage girls. He thought she was asleep. She was like, wait, what are you doing? She called him on it. They got into a fight. She said, you are leaving this house if I don't get to look through your phone. And then there were other photos of teenage girls on there.
Throughout the history of him just taking photos,
there were more.
It was a pattern.
She kicked him out. He's at his sister's right now.
Well, his excuse too was, I'm missing the photography. Oh, you're just into filming, taking photos of teenage girls?
Lies.
So the debate was, okay, is what he did illegal? Because some people were saying call the police. And Joslani said it is illegal to take pictures of minors. I personally know someone who is a photographer who was taking pictures of a landscape and there were children in the background and it got reported and now he's a registered sex offender and can no longer take pictures because there was a child in the background.
That's not true. That person is lying to you about what happened and why they are on the list. I know people that are on the sex offender list and they lie about why they're
that
on
sounds
it.
terrifying. Could you imagine if that's what it took, where you were just taking a photo and you don't see a kid in the background? Somebody's like, hey, took a photo of a kid and the kid didn't give him permission. And you're like, wait. And
it's the same lie as the person that says, I'm on the sex offender list because I was peeing outside by a dumpster. And then you go look at their case notes, which are public record. You can find out exactly why somebody's on the offender list. It's not for taking a picture with kids in the background.
Did you notice you had a lot of emails and comments about that, or is that the only one you got? Because if it was...
This is the only one, yeah.
If it was illegal, to that emailer's point, you would have gotten so many emails about that of us being wrong. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I believe that emailer is wrong.
Yeah, they said this might be a state-by-state thing, but you cannot take pictures of children without permission.
That's
not true.
You can't publish them. You can't. You can take a picture. Now you get into a provocative situation when you're starting to share and you're starting to publicly post and all that.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of animal.
It says children have rights, and it could be something as simple as eating children eating.
What?
I don't know what that means. Eating children eating.
I think maybe I know in Florida you can take because dudes have hung out at the water park and got busted taking pictures of kids in bathing suits frolicking, and the cops show up and the cops are like, we can't do anything. It's not illegal because it's a public place.
Only thing the cops can do, and I'm speaking about Florida, but If they're at a water park or something and the manager says, we want that guy out of there, he's got to leave.
But I'm talking about a public park. This happened at a public park, and all the moms were outraged. It wasn't private property. It was a public park. And the cops were like, there's really nothing we can do. He's not breaking any laws. That's Florida. Maybe where you're from, it's different. But here, I read the story, and I was appalled by it. But it's just the fact.
We already went through, we had a big debate about this about 2 years ago where a creepster was filming a little girl's butt. The cop saw it on the phone. She was out in public and she had her clothes on, and the cop said, it's creepy. I get why you're upset, and I can't do anything about it because you're out in public.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that email is not correct. So that would be chilling if that were the fact, because I can only imagine. You probably go through my phone thing right now where I got the family outside and there's probably kids in the background. And if that were the case, oh my gosh.
It's a lie. It's a common lie amongst people that are on the predator or the offender. Is two different lists. There's a predator list, there's an offender list. But to get on those lists, it's not from taking a picture and there's a kid in the background. That person is lying to you.
Wait, predators aren't honest?
Just like the asshole in my neighborhood. This asshole in my neighborhood, lied to a bunch of people and told them that the reason he's on the list is because he was peeing in public and he got busted. And I did the research.
Yeah.
I looked up the guy's case. He got busted giving alcohol to minors and trying to pay them for sex. And he did it multiple times. That's not peeing outside, but that's a common lie they tell.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember the movie Something About Mary?
Yeah.
There's the part where Ben Stiller's character goes out to take a piss and he walks into a bunch of guys. It's kind of like a place where everyone's sucking each other's dick, and the cops come. They go, I swear I was just pissing. And it shows you the other guys. Yeah, we're all just pissing here. We're all just pissing.
We're all just pissing.
There's like 10 guys getting blowjobs. He's like, yeah, he's right. We're all just pissing.
We're all just pissing. Okay. Just so you know, that's a common lie.
Anytime we watch those, me and Dennis watch those ones where it's the knockoff Chris Hansen, where they get these predators. They always have them meet at a Walmart, and me and Dennis will go, all right, so what do you think the predator's going to say? Is it going to be, I was just here to tell her about the dangers of being online? They all say the same exact excuse.
I wanted to warn her about predators so no one would predate her.
Well, then why did you send a picture of your dick to her? Well, I wanted to make it realistic so she knew.
Do these guys have that excuse on deck? Is it prepackaged so it's ready if they need to pull it out?
I think that the people,
they're ready.
The people that investigate them, they walk up to them. They basically will say, they're posing as the girl. Meet me at aisle 3 at Walmart. I'll be there at 1, blah, blah, blah. And a team will walk in with cameras and a booklet of all of the screenshots, his dick, his face.
Yeah.
They go, so that's not your face? That's not your dick?
Right.
That's not your... And you just see them shut down.
Yeah, because you got all the
Because he
evidence
knows
you need
that's his dick.
Yeah, right there
is-
to put them away. All the evidence is in their hand.
You want to watch some crazy content. Some of those get insane. The predator will freak out. There was one predator, he starts to like shut down. He goes, I'm here to buy poop medicine. I'm here to buy, I'm constipated. I'm only here to buy poop medicine. It ends with him running out of the store, him getting in his car, and him crashing it to another fucking car. He gets tackled by bystanders.
Oh, shit.
Well, you just realize your life's over at that point. Your life will never be the same.
You
from that
are
moment
watching
on.
literally a spiral and a crumble.
You are. And it's 11 minutes, and it's just so many turns. It's all in real time. You go, holy shit.
Right.
And
it's over. There's really no coming back from that.
there's a lot of it out there, man. I'm not trying to be a worried Warren over here, but there's just so much content of motherfuckers being creepy as fuck.
And that's why you
there
can't
is.
trust anybody.
Yeah.
You just can't. You cannot trust anybody, and you cannot leave them with your kid.
No, I don't want to believe you can't trust anybody,
No,
but,
I do.
but you do. Look, when it's outside of your crew, you got to look at people, make sure that they're the right.
Yeah, no, you got to be always alert of the situations that you're in and what you're doing.
I got to send you guys that link. You will not believe that video.
It will stick with me. I don't know if I can handle it right now.
Well, you kind of like it because you're seeing the bad guy go down.
I love that.
That's what's satisfying about those videos. You are
One less
seeing
creep
them
in
doing
the
something
wild.
terrible, and they're saying terrible things. They really think they're meeting a little girl. They do. And they always try to claim it. Oh, it's just fantasy. No, you thought you were meeting a 13-year-old girl, and you got busted.
Yeah, there's a lot of it in the news the last couple of days. I saw even Tim Tebow was testifying yesterday. I don't know if it was in front of Congress or what. I was kind of putting it together. I didn't know we'd get into it, but he's on the quest. Yesterday, also I saw that in Polk County they had another big sex trafficking bust. Something on the news today about it was a mom, her son, and another guy, 3 people that were involved. Again, they were making videos and I mean, it's unreal how
it's so
people get that
crazy.
twisted.
And here's the messed up part. There's actually kids that are recruited to recruit other kids.
Oh, yeah.
Little girls are getting other girls. It's fucked up.
To your point, they'll use a female sometimes
Yep.
to soften the blow, get people a little bit lower because it's typically usually a dude that's doing this stuff. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I'm not saying women can't do it, but the numbers are there. So when you bring a female in there, they think, okay,
You let your guard down.
It does.
Yeah.
It's so true. This is why you can't trust anybody. No new friends. We don't make new friends on the internet. You just can't. You don't know who you're talking to.
Well, we make new friends, but Check the ones on the internet. I wouldn't fucking make anything on the internet. The internet's a shady place.
Be aware. All righty. Well, there you go. That's a fun little note to end on.
No new friends.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the witch on that one.
All right. Well, tomorrow is Friday. Big old weekend. Can't wait to get it going, baby. We'll see y'all back here tomorrow. Goodbye.